1,907 days. That's how long it had been since the last time the Indiana Fever had a winning record. Over 5 years since the Fever have seen above 500, and that's all coming to a close thanks to one woman. Rookie sensation Caitlin Clark, who has been dominating the W since entering the league in mid-May. Forget a Brat summer. This has been a Caitlin Clark summer, and one to remember. I mean, Caitlin has been all over headlines, whether it's for breaking records on the court or breaking records with viewership. The sports world can't seem to get enough of the new face of the WNBA. And right now, it feels like we're going to be getting a lot more Caitlin Clark coverage with the WNBA playoffs rolling around and the Indiana Fever clinching a playoff spot for the first time since the end of the Tamika Catchings era. Since 2017, the franchise has been in utter hell. It's been complete misery up there in Indiana. However, now that Caitlin Clark has joined the team, it's pretty much rejuvenated life back into the city, and now Fever fans have something to go out and root for. I mean, it's also why viewership and attendance has been through the roof for the Fever. They've never seen anything like this. No matter where the Fever are playing, I promise you the arena will be jam-packed, all thanks to Caitlin Clark and what she's done for the team. Currently, they sit at about the 6th seed in the W with the record of 18-17. And that's pretty much where it's going to stay for them because there are only 5 games left in the season. And I think it's pretty fair to say that with the schedule they have upcoming, the Fever are going to finish the season with a winning record. At the worst, they end the record 500, right? But that won't happen because Caitlin Clark won't let it. And right now, they do have the potential to go up against the Connecticut Sun in the first round, which is a pretty good scenario for them. I mean, they would be dodging a stacked New York Liberty team, an exciting Minnesota Lynx team, and a sneaky Las Vegas Aces team who for some reason find themselves as the 4th seed even though they're back-to-back champions. So they would be dodging 3 major opponents in the first round if they somehow manage to match up against the Connecticut Sun. And I'm not saying this would be any kind of stroll in the park for the Fever, because at the end of the day, the first round is a best-of-3 series, so anything could happen here. I'm just saying that out of all the teams the Indiana Fever could go up against in the first round, the Sun are the more favorable matchup here. And, you know, I think Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston are more than ready to take on whoever they have coming their way, you know, when the playoffs roll around. Now, does this team have any playoff experience whatsoever? Absolutely not. And why would they? Because the Fever haven't sniffed the playoffs in more than 5 years. So of course, nobody on this team is really nobody of significance is gonna have any playoff experience. And before we get into Caitlin Clark and what she's done this season for the Fever, I just wanted to slow down, remind you guys to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Every subscription is greatly appreciated and goes a long way. We're trying to reach 5,000 subscribers. All right, now let's get back into talking about Caitlin Clark. You see, the thing about Caitlin Clark is that she's putting up historic numbers, especially for a rookie. In the 35 games she's played as of now, she's averaging 19 points a game, a total of 5.8 rebounds in nearly 6, and 8.5 assists. It is rare for a rookie of any kind to put up these kinds of numbers, let alone be on a team that's looking to make a deep playoff push here. I mean, of course, we've seen players come into the W and dominate before as rookies. However, usually they tend to be on teams that aren't doing well. I mean, they'll probably be at the bottom of the league and pick in the top 3 for the next 2 or 3 years. Those are the kind of rookies dominating, but not this one. Not Caitlin Clark. She's putting up these numbers on a great team, and she's arguably the best player on this good team. Now, the thing about Caitlin, and when it comes to her shooting percentage, it's a bit skewed, and there's a reason for that. Yes, she shoots 42% from the field, but you have to remember, a majority of her shots are coming from beyond the 3-point range, okay? And she's not just shooting on the edge of the 3-point line, she's shooting 3, 4, 5 feet out from where that line is. She can shoot it from the NBA 3-point line, All right, so I just wanted to make sure that got into your head of yours. Now, from the three-point range, Caitlin Clark is shooting at about 35% right now. And that's amazing. I mean, especially in the W, where three-point percentage isn't really that high. And it's not like she's putting up 3 or 4 three-pointers a game. No, she's averaging nearly 9 attempts per game. She gets 14 shot attempts, on an average, and 9 of those are three-pointers. So of course, her field goal percentage is going to be a bit lower. However, her three-point percentage is very high. So I just kind of wanted to explain why that was. Now, if we were to take a look at where Caitlin Clark ranked league-wide, you'd be even more impressed. Three-point attempts, she sits in second place. Three-pointers made, she is tied for first. No one shoots the three better than Caitlin in the W. I'm telling you that right now. Now, as for where she ranks rookie-wise, well, we haven't seen anyone really do this since A'ja Wilson. I mean, A'ja Wilson and Simone Augustus are the only players to have scored more points in their rookie season than what Caitlin Clark has done right now. She currently sits at 666. And I do think that in these next 5 games, Caitlin Clark could pass A'ja Wilson for second. Will she reach Simone Augustus? I don't know. Simone had 744. Caitlin would need about 80 points in 5 games. It is doable that Caitlin Clark could end the season with the most points that the WNBA has ever seen by a rookie, and that would be great. But what Caitlin Clark already has a record in is the most assists that a rookie has ever had. Currently, 294. The next closest person all time in assists the rookie season is 70 away, and Caitlin Clark still has 5 more games to go, barring any injury. Hell, Caitlin Clark leads all of the WNBA right now in assists per game, and it isn't close. Like I said, she averages 8.5 assists. And just imagine how many more assists Caitlin Clark would have if she had a more competent team around her. Yes, her teammates have gotten better throughout the year, but right now, I mean, if you looked back at the games at the beginning of the season, Caitlin Clark's teammates weren't making anything. Before they went on this little winning streak that they have been on, the Fever's offense looked pretty miserable outside of Clark. However, that has improved, as have Clark's assists, because her teammates are finally making shots. So shout out to the rest of the Fever for stepping up their game to match Caitlin Clark's level. I personally can't wait to see what Caitlin Clark does in these playoffs. I mean, she has made it into big games before, but that was at the collegiate level, and she's looked great throughout several March Madness tournaments. Basically unstoppable. That is where her name grew in notoriety, through these March Madness tournaments that she was playing really well in. However, she was never able to win the biggest of games, losing the national championship twice now. So these next few weeks will tell us if Caitlin Clark really is her and is able to win a few playoff games here. Now, I'm not asking for anything unachievable, but I do think they can squeak out of the first round, especially since it's a best of 3. All she has to do is win 2 games, and she's been doing that pretty much this entire season. I can't wait to see the Fever in the playoffs. This will be like the 3rd year now that I'm watching, WNBA playoff games, and it is probably the most excited I've ever been heading into the season finale for the WNBA. But anyway, that's about it for this video. Just wanted to remind you guys to like and subscribe to the channel. Catch y'all later. Much love. Deuces.